Okay, we had a little technical difficulty right before we took off, so
Camera swap.
camera swap. So apparently our other one that we've been using needs to be fully charged before we start, and hopefully y'all can hear us.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's one thing about this software. There is never any. There's not an end of our volume level.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway,
What are we gonna talk about? We're all miscombobulated.
yeah.
today.
Now we're lost.
Yeah.
We usually have about 5 minutes to.
Yeah, we usually have our shit together. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. So all right,
The audience says that we're good on audio. Audio wins.
Let's see. Let's turn that. Okay.
All right.
And then got comments. We got Bradley in the wings, not quite ready to come. He's ready to come on, but we're gonna make him patiently wait.
He's ready to come. He says,
"Whoa," for a minute yet, and so I guess first you did your first asphalt race.
I did my first asphalt
race. Where'd that trophy go? Wow! Hell yeah!
Third place.
So
I was guaranteed a top 5, but I got third.
I wasn't even like when I seen videos of how sideways you had that the whole way. I thought, well, he made about 5 laps and burned his right rear off. So
we had to find a spare because there was one spare for 5 cars, and we had to do some swapping around to make sure that I could go race the feature. And then they were pretty adamant about you need to change the way you're driving if you want to make the whole race. So
that's funny.
So that's what I did. Anyways, we got the 317 awards at the old Houston Motorsports Park. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah,
cool looking trophy for third too.
Yeah,
that's awesome. So and what's real cool is those cars are for rent. So you can go down there, and the one I was in was like $200, which I got to run it. Owen invited me down to run it, and had a blast. So I mean, if you're itching to try your hand at some racing, go down there to Houston. I think they race like once a month down there, and see what's for rent. Holler at the track and see what you can do.
Owen Pittman, right?
Owen Pittman, or it's a HMS the oval track. I think is what it says on Facebook. So there's a drag strip there too. So it was a lot of fun. I know there's going to be a lot more of those cars in the future because I'm helping build them.
Right
so,
on.
Me and Chris White, which we had a guest on here before, I've been doing some work with him, and between grooving tires, and tomorrow we're putting a cage in another Crown Vic. So that ought to be fun. I think that'll be a real fun class and affordable class for people. Maybe it'll pick up at a dirt track somewhere too.
Yeah.
But I know they're pretty big out east.
So Ricky Childress Jr. is from Bakersfield, and I saw they raced Crown Vics, I think, last weekend on the asphalt there. By the way, Ricky, congratulations on your win over there at Mojave Valley. That was pretty cool. You're saying legends, but you're damn sure if you're not a legend, you're one in the making.
We're legends because most of the stuff you heard about us is made up.
Right, exactly. But yeah, congratulations, Ricky. That's cool, and he's just he comes from a driving family.
Well,
his whole family. His dad.
His dad owned Dale Earnhardt's car.
Right. Yeah. I raced a whole bunch against his Uncle Gary Dutton. We call him Lick, and just had a ball. He's a great driver, and the whole he's got brothers. They're all racers.
They're all racers. They're all pretty good, or just him?
No, yeah. His dad beat me out of an IMCA modified championship my rookie year. I think I got second or third to him. He won that championship. He's won some championships and stuff. They're coming for you.
Who called? Who called him?
Who? I don't know. But anyway,
not again.
You would think. We're not in the ghetto, I promise.
No, we're just right next to a fire department.
But and Ricky's driving for some guys that I met and helped me a whole bunch. The Pikes.
This is the slowest fire truck I've ever heard in my life.
The Flintstone fire truck.
Yeah, it's just somebody. They got two Clydesdales pulling a wagon out front here with a fucking siren. Jesus Christ!
But Jim Pike and Jason used to race, and Jason was really fast. I never saw Jim drive a whole lot. By the time I did, he was just kind of having fun with Jason. Yeah. And then now, God, I swear I'm so bad at names, but now the younger Pike is racing, and him and Jake Pike. And so they all went to Mojave Valley. And
I know you blame your blood pressure deal about your memory, but I'm not good at names, and I've never had that. Yeah, so anyway. You're just catching up,
right? I guess. Whatever. So anyway, but that whole Pike crew, I used to like it when they come to Bakersfield. They're out of Pahrump, Nevada, and I would invite them over. Like, you guys come a day early and hang out. They're those kind of people. You want to sit and drink with them and all that stuff.
That's what we do. That's what we like doing at the big races. Let's get there a day early and hang out.
Yeah,
and that way we're hung over the rest of the weekend.
Yep, exactly.
Every time, every night.
And
other than some other racing we got to go doing is my brother Jesse, he got to run Chris White's one of his factory stocks at Hunt County.
Yeah, and was amazingly fast considering that it wasn't running 100%.
Considering that he picked that car up on Friday or Thursday night.
Yeah.
And I went over to his house and dropped something off at like 9:30, and it was still sitting on the trailer. It didn't have a seat, nothing in it. He's never drove it. Takes it to. Gets it all fixed up, runs it Friday night at Hunt County. It goes from 6th to 2nd in the heat race. Comes in, it's like, it's banging out all the way around the track. We changed the distributor cap, all this shit on it. He goes out for the feature. We couldn't tell. It wouldn't do it in the pit, so you don't know if it's fixed. But we're like, oh yeah, oh hell, they're coming back. the fire department's coming. It must be a hell of a fire. We would end up having to close this down early to go help. But anyways, he went out for the feature and ends up getting 4th. And the car is still banging. We could hear it the whole time.
Yeah, he did it. He did a great job.
So, and we still ain't got that totally figured out what's going on with that. Chris says he's gonna get another distributor. It definitely seems like an electrical type problem with the way it's acting. So. We'll get that lined out.
We had a first-time driver out of your shop there.
Yeah,
and he really did a good job.
Our buddy John Boy Osborne, we've been helping him get his first race car, and
so I guess he got a few laps at one of the Lone Star 600s, but not many.
Yeah, it was like 8 or 11 or something. It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough.
And I mean, he just goes out there, and he was really wheeling that deal, and I thought to myself, and you
usually the first time you see someone on the track, they're underdriving it. He was almost overdriving. And I had to tell him, "Hey, dude, just chill out."
Yeah. But my suspicions were confirmed that he's done some iRacing and stuff. Like he done a lot of it.
Yeah, he got seat time, at least some screen time.
Yeah,
I guess you'd call that. But
I was listening to some drifters that did a podcast, and they said that the guys that learn on I don't know if they do exactly iRacing or what, but I'm going to call it the iRacing. The guys that learn on that do really well when they get into the live cars, but it doesn't translate the other way. The guys that have only driven cars can't figure out the feel, the visual of it. Where the guys that just come from the visual, like, hop right in and do good in the cars, and he did really good.
He did phenomenal. Finished the feature. He ended up having a flat at right there. It was going down.
he fought that all night. We needed to get him another right rear, but I don't know what.
I think that was off of one of our cars. I don't remember
because
I think it might have been off. It might have been off the 55 car.
Yeah, but Ricky says be sure and check the module in that car.
But we changed the whole cap, and so it was different coil and stuff, and it had some corrosion in there. But I think we're getting a whole different distributor for it. The way Chris was talking.
Yeah. So
Jesse might be driving that at the 30,000 next weekend.
Well, we were talking about that, and then I don't know who owns a 55 car. Do I gotta rent that thing, or what do we gotta do?
Well, the thing with that car is we can't make the son of a bitch finish races.
Well,
and but we got to get the whole transmission issue
because I have 3 speeds and I have a clutch over here, and we're like,
we'll figure it out. Yeah. We'll figure it out. Yeah, I mean, I don't care. You're one of my guys that I'd put you in something. So I don't know. I got the car built, but I feel like it's Jesse's car. Right. I told him that. I was like, it's your car. You do whatever. I'm not spending no more money.
I told her,
I'm done spending money.
I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but if Jesse drives a 55 car, I'll call Chris White and see if I can drive the other one. Or if he drives that one, I'm gonna see if I can drive the 55 car. I don't care.
We'll figure something out.
Do something.
I'm going back over to Chris's tonight or tomorrow. I mean, and to build Crown Vic again. So we'll talk about that, and then I'll talk to Jesse and see what his plans are really too. Because that car was so fast. I said, dude, if this thing would be cutting out and shit the whole time. I mean, he was on the bumper at 3rd place all night. It blows my mind that it was that fast when it was cutting out.
And then our other friend Denny.
Poor Denny, man.
Yeah, man.
Led the whole race up until 2 laps, and he was a rocket, and he had a loaner motor out. Yeah. He pulled in after hot laps and was like, "It's just not enough. It's just not enough." And I've been around Denny a bunch. Yeah, it's kind of what he does, but it's never enough.
But watching, like, he got out to a good lead, and then 2nd place reeled him in for a little bit.
Yeah, risky, man. He's fast, and that's the old debate of B-Mods versus Limiteds.
Right.
That was the top 2 was a B-Mod and a Limited, and the Limited.
Y'all have so many mods out here. I don't never know what. I haven't taken the time to learn.
We've got LBGQ mods and all kinds of stuff.
So the 2nd place guy, like, he was behind Denny. There was car lengths a gap in there, and then he run up on him, and then he kind of fell off again. And in my mind, I thought, man,
he burned his tires.
Yep, got his tires burned up, a little too much pressure in there. And then they hit lap traffic, and he just caught right up and got dicey right there. And I was like, maybe he laid back and cooled his tires off a little bit for that last little run. It's shit's a chess game sometimes, but
it was a good race regardless. I hate it for Denny because he was really wanting that win, and he busts his ass on all them cars he drives. So
should we? I feel like we don't have any.
Pit Ninja's watching. We'll see you next week, there, Pit Ninja. He's the one that throws people out at Boot Hill. He wouldn't let me tase nobody.
We don't have a whole lot of comments because our main commenter is waiting to come on live.
We can see you down there, Bradley. Wave if you're ready. You don't know.
All right, we're bringing him in. Here he comes. And does he have a microphone?
Yeah, I think so.
There we go.
Can we hear you?
No, I think I did.
Did you mute him? We don't know.
I can't.
Unmute has been requested. I think so.
Hey, what's up, guys?
All right.
It's our first day. Can we hear him here?
How does that work?
Did you turn something off on the corner here? Yeah. Hold on.
But I'm afraid
we're trying to figure this out.
I'm afraid we're going to get feedback now.
Oh, slowly.
I can't hear you.
All right. You can't hear us? I wonder how come it works so well for.
I don't know. Maybe it's because he's got a mic. The mic's not working.
Something.
Hey,
man.
Hey, I'm gonna text you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Can you hear us?
I can't hear. I unplugged the mic. I can't hear you guys.
We can hear you now.
Yeah.
I don't know. You
no,
got
I
earbud?
can't hear you.
You got earbuds? Earbuds?
I think we should have tested this. Can they hear me now?
Yeah. Well, it worked good last week.
Yeah.
It worked good last week, so we're gonna blame you for this. Hey, take your phone. Take your phone.
He tried to get too technical with the microphone, and they.
What the hell?
You get earbuds.
What do I do, Billy? I can't get earbuds. Can you get my earphones?
I don't know.
All right. We are.
We're gonna figure it out. We'll figure it out.
We'll be back in a minute. When we see you with some shit on your ears.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. This is a part of having an amateur operation,
right?
And is this a free app?
No, we pay for this shit.
Oh, fucking, I'm suing.
The crazy thing is that it worked.
It worked last week.
Yeah, it worked pretty well. I'll be checking for pit passes as usual. Let's go.
I'm gonna be up there next weekend selling merch too at the old 30,000 to win factory stock race at Boot Hill. That's gonna be a hell of a show, man. 30,000 to win for fucking factory stocks.
Benjamin said that he could hear all of us well. So
yeah, well, both of us, as in these two.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then I'm getting a text from Stacy. So
we'll figure this out. The thing is we just don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Do we think Hot Carl can win a B main?
The first time he was in his modified, he won the B main. That was pretty cool. But so he at least has won one. He's got one under his belt.
He won one B main, just like his number. Huh?
Win one.
Win one B main.
Let's see. I forgot I was supposed to send somebody a link here.
So,
but
now Brad's completely out of the picture.
He's figuring it out.
I
don't know that. I don't understand why that's not working.
Me either. We just got spoiled when Ethan come on. Everything just went.
Everything worked perfect.
Fine. So
yeah, I don't know. Well, we'll get it figured out. There's got to be some way of doing it.
Anyway, so I've had.
We got time.
I pulled the Enduro car in today.
Oh, speaker connected.
And worked on it a little bit and get it ready for this weekend. All right, here we're gonna come back with Brad and see what we can do here.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
There's just a little bit of lag there, I think, but that's fine.
Yep.
Just don't fucking interrupt me.
All right, I'll try not to. No promises.
So Billy, he's actually been doing some work, grooving tires and whatnot, trying to get some money for his trip. And he sent the picture of you on the bicycle, and he was like, "Here, can you just do something with this for tonight?"
Yeah. Yeah. In his shorts.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you can't wear any kind of restrictive pants when you're riding a bicycle. Might get tangled up in the chain.
More aerodynamic that way.
Yeah, absolutely. I shave my legs as well.
Air cool.
See, I I have a lot of hair missing off my legs. I think I don't know why. I think it's a genetic thing. Dad's the same. Dad's like that. We always, Dad, you got the smoothest legs, and he gets mad about it. But so tell us, have you been working on your modified any?
I have not worked on my modified.
Is the house done? I know you said you was trying to get the house done so you could work on the car.
So here's what had happened. So the house is done, and I raced a stock car a few weeks ago, and I wrecked it. And I got all the parts to fix the stock car. It's sitting right over here. I got all the parts to fix the stock car, but I haven't put it back together yet either. So I need to put the stock car back together, and then I need to finish my modified. That's my 1 and 2 order to do.
See, that's something a lot of people don't talk about when you have multiple race cars, is at some point everything's going to be not raceable.
Yeah. There's a grapefruit size hole in the radiator right now.
Well, that one, the JB welded it maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, it's bent a little bit as well, but it might still hold water. I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, it'll hold water at somewhere in it.
Break up some cigarettes and put in there. It'll be fine.
Yeah, you got to put an egg in it and some pepper.
An egg and some pepper.
I got in about 4 collisions before that happened, and it got hot. So I mean, it was pretty good while it lasted. It was honestly pretty impressive.
Yeah, I seen the video. Yeah, it was. You was doing pretty good. That was a pretty big show.
Yeah, we had a car to be pretty good. I think we could at least been top 10 in the big show. But whenever you don't do good in your heat race, that puts you behind. You got to do good all the time.
Yeah. If you start off bad, the rest of the weekend's usually going to suck.
I needed to pass one more car in that heat race, and I would have been in a good spot.
Yeah, we've all been.
They gave us 6 lap heat races with 10 cars.
Oh, that's not enough.
Yeah, it was classic.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't have time to get the tire dope warmed up in the tires.
That's right. Yeah, and that's right.
Oh, he's got a hat switch.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. It was a hat switch.
I like that. He's got sponsor placement going on.
It's like we're doing it's like a NASCAR interview where they just keep handing hats. Change hats, drink this Coca-Cola.
I think it's really sad because people do things just because they get paid.
Yeah. Well,
got everything perfect. I like that. We should aspire to do that well.
Yeah. Bradley's got more sponsors than we do.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
and he don't even have.
That's what happens when you're funny on the internet. You don't even have to race.
Yeah.
Try that sometime.
Yeah. So, what kind of beer are you drinking? Is that a beer, or are you drinking a Diet Coke?
Times are hard around here. This is a Natural Light.
Oh, Natty Daddy.
You see, Natural Light is almost as good as Busch Light, and it costs as much as Busch Light used to cost.
That's true. You can go to the dollar store and get like an 18-pack for like $12.
Exactly right. And Busch Light used to be that way, and then people decided that they wanted it to be a thing, and they started calling it Busch Lattes, and now they're like $40 for a 30-pack or some shit.
Yeah. Well, like up north, the first time I went to like Minnesota and Wisconsin and stuff. That's all you could drink basically. If you wasn't drinking that, I think they would throw you out.
And we don't have Lone Stars.
Yeah. Texas is Lone Stars. Up there, it's Busch Lights. But anyways, that was like I come down here and it was I forget what the deal was. I think Bud Light ended up being real gay or something, so we had to switch beers. And so I was like, well, we'll try Busch Light because I drank those up north and they were pretty good, and so we were stuck on those for a little bit. But I don't know, they're not bad, and Natural Light's not bad neither. It's just real cheap, so people don't like it.
It's real cheap and adjacent to water, and it's totally fine. It's way better than Keystones, and it costs the same as Keystones.
Yeah, better than Coors Light, I think.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah.
So is that tire dope behind you that you was trying to place there? Is that?
Oh yeah, it's a little bit of Track Tech AT2.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm sure that's for the go-karts.
Yeah.
I used to race go-karts.
Yeah.
Some leftover stuff.
Yeah. So tell us, so what races you got coming up once you get this stock car finished and fixed? What's your plans on that?
I'm not sure. I really trying to just hit kind of big shows with that and my modified if I ever get it put together. I'm not really that interested in the weekly stuff these days. I really kind of think weekly racing is almost going to be a thing of the past here soon, especially with modifieds. They don't race them at half the places anymore, and I'm not going to race a B mod.
Yeah.
So, because it costs as much to put together a B mod as it does to do an A mod, and as much to do a stock car as it does an A mod. They all have the same shocks. I mean, I got base valve shocks on the stock car, just like you would on a modified.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. So that's why I just try to hit the big shows. I don't know. It's tough because you don't have the seat time, but if all your stuff's right when you get there, it's kind of a big advantage over the guy that's raced 38 nights and his trailing arm's bent and he didn't realize it.
Right. Jesse, I don't know if you can see the comments there, but Jesse, yeah. My brother, he said, "Brother, looks like I believe every word he would say."
Yeah, you should, Jesse, as well.
Hat switch again. So I think it's the glasses mustache combo.
Some people think that it looks like the Muffin Man. I'm not so sure about that, but
I don't know what the Muffin Man looks like. But
I don't know. Do you know the Muffin Man?
No, yeah. I lives on Mulberry Lane?
I don't know the Muffin Man.
I'm gonna Google it when we get done, though. I'll ask ChatGPT.
You ask ChatGPT to produce an image of the Muffin Man.
Yeah, I was telling him, how I started using it for stuff, and then he said his job told him he needed to start using it, and then he started talking bad to it. I was like, it's not gonna help you if you're being a dickhead.
Well, it kind of sucks sometimes. When it sucks, I told it sucks. I didn't want no more of that.
It's definitely a liar sometimes. And the worst kind, it shows no emotion about it. I'll ask it, hey, can you do this? I wanted it to take a picture, and I was just kind of testing it to see if it could make it into a cut ready for my plasma table, bridge across the letters and stuff. And it's like, yeah, sure, I can do that. And after about 3 tries, I'm like, you obviously cannot. This is beyond your technology. And then it gives me some bullshit story of, well, yeah, this and that. And I'm like, well, why don't you just say that to start with? Just say, no, that's probably out of my league,
Yeah, the other day I tried to get it to make a picture that it claimed it could. And I let it try like 6 times. And I kept telling it, this sucks. It's not what I'm looking for. And it'd be like, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I understand. That's not what you're looking for. And
I like it when it apologizes.
It pretends like it's sorry, but then it just fucks up again.
I've known some women like that.
Hell, I do that. I'll be honest.
Jesse says free mustache rides at any big races that pay over $3,000.
That's right. So that's right.
I think.
So if there's any stock car races over $3,000, send me a DM. I'd like to know about it.
Yeah. You probably do need to charge though. That way, get some tires out of the deal anyway. So.
Well, really, it's about the publicity. Like getting the name out there is important as anything.
Well, that's true. Okay, all right.
So we need to get you to come down this way. What are you doing next weekend?
I don't know. Probably nothing. Probably my stock car probably still be broke.
Yeah. Well, so fuck that. Come on down to Boot Hill. It's $30,000 to win factory stock race. You can come down and party with us.
Well, if I got it fixed, you think they'd see the weight jacks on the front, or you think I get away with that?
Don't take it. Just bring the van and a sleeping bag. What the hell?
There he is. He's back. He's back.
He blacked out for a second.
Still there?
Yeah.
Yep. B mods are the perfect old man class because we get a smoke break every couple of laps. So.
Hey, damn it! Can we? There's a video of my dad somewhere. It was a red flag at Thunder Mountain back in the day, and he my mom zoomed in. He got his helmet lifted up, smoking a cigarette under a red flag. Well, we lost Brad. We'll get him back here in a minute. He might have lost signal or something. Right. He might have something going on.
He was jacking with his.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing, but
anyway,
if just like anything else, we have technical difficulties.
So there was a guy named Roger Remy that he would hold a hand on the petty bar, and he had a lit cigarette in that hand and drove. That's just.
Can y'all hear me again now?
Yeah, we can hear you. You good now?
Okay, I don't know what the hell happened there. It just froze up.
I don't know. Why is
if I bring that car down there, you think they'd see the weight jacks on the front? I could run as a factory stock.
You at least come hot lap at Thursday.
Brad looks like me last night.
Blacked out.
I'm not blacked out, Jesse. I promise.
Yeah, Jesse worked today, so
I work most days. What did you do today, Billy?
I did work today. I grooved a bunch of tires.
Okay.
Chris White's actually had him humping up there.
Yeah, I've actually been busy. Thank you very much.
Okay, sorry. Didn't mean to offend you on that.
Yeah. Oh, hat swap. Hat swap. I like that it's all vintage looking hats too. Like we're fans, you know. And he actually won the Addicted to Dirt contest that they had. I don't know, when was that? A few weeks ago.
Yeah,
a few weeks ago I did win that. That's a very nice hat too. That's it fits real well. I got the one you got there, Lee. It's a nice hat.
Yeah, I was rolling through your Facebook just kind of looking for something to say and whatever, and I did notice that you had a nice picture of you like working on the car with the shirt on, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah, he poses for stuff. It's always planned stuff with this fucking guy.
Billy, that was totally candid. I didn't plan that at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My neighbor just happened to walk over. I was working on the car and took my photo, and I was like, "Wow, you know."
Yeah, wow, what a great picture. Please send me that.
Yeah, exactly.
The van, the sleeping bag, and mustache rides.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm letting him in the van.
Yeah.
TJ.
Well, he's got a van too.
Oh, does he?
It's red.
Yeah, I've got a van. I'm part of the squad.
Okay.
It's less sketchy. It looks almost like he would like deliver Coca-Cola to places.
Right. All right. Okay. See,
yeah, I think the people are saying that the van is the toter home of the future. That's what they're saying.
Well, that's what they used to say when I had my school bus.
Yeah.
That's true. He's yeah. I'll break them too. But
I was under the impression I was coming on here to answer technical questions.
Yeah, so last week we had Ethan Dotson on. He wouldn't tell us what a spring smash number is. We need you to know what that is.
I can't tell you on that. You know, I do know, but I can't tell you that. I can give you some good numbers. Here, let me just give you a little nugget of information.
Okay.
If you're racing any sort of a modified type car, you get your pen out. Write this down. If you're racing any sort of a modified type car, on your right rear, you're going to want your 1-inch number to be around 650 and your 2-inch number to be around 900 on the right rear. That will get you in the ballpark.
All right. Well, I asked Bradley here a bunch when I was getting the 3-link car ready, and we got it pretty close.
Yeah.
It was the track was heavy as hell, so it was tight. Then I freed it up, and then the next day I was good in the corners and shitty down the straightaways. I don't know what we got to do to set a car up for the straightaways, but let's see. Is there a 10 millimeter in the van?
Yeah, I carry socket set. I got an 11 millimeter and a 9 millimeter if you want one.
Yeah, there probably is, but you'll never find that son of a bitch. I usually can't find a 1/2-inch wrenches at my place or 7/16 socket. That's the two things.
And ChatGPT is no help at helping you find them either.
No, I've asked. I was just say, where the fuck is it? And it's like, what are you talking about?
What I've learned is I like to have about 6 of each item. And then normally, as long as I clean up about once a month, I don't lose all of them.
Right.
Yeah.
I own about 15 tape measures.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm that way with tape measures. I've actually had about 5 or 6 of them since I moved here 7 years ago. And then over the last 2 weeks, I lost all of them. Like, I held on to them for 7 years about, and then I just don't know where they went. They just disappeared.
I have been coming over, and I don't know where any of my tape measures are either. So,
I mean, there's several times where I'll be working on something, and like through one task, I'll use 3 different tape measures because I'll carry it over to the bench and set it down, and I'll go get something else and have to get a new tape measure because I couldn't remember where I put it. I carry things with me, and I just set it down the first place I stop at.
So
I'm guilty of that.
I find that I'll use something, set it down. I can't find it, so I go to the toolbox and get another one. And then when I'm done with that and I go to set it down, I find the first one that I put in the exact same place that I just put that.
So that's the best way to find it.
Yeah, the best way to find it is look for something else.
But if you think about it, you're like, what did I do when that never gets you there. But if you go get another one and just let it leave your mind, then you'll just end up where you put the last one.
Yeah. I'm in the undiagnosed, but we're pretty sure category. And you can ask my wife. I don't know how many times I've made us late because I've lost something and I need to find it before we can leave.
Yeah.
That's like, hey, we need to leave. Like, no, this ratchet. I've left it somewhere. I need to find it.
Yeah, we're going to be late if we don't find this. So you're going to help me. I used to have a buddy of mine's kids. They always come over the shop with him and stuff, and I would always get them to find stuff when we couldn't find it, and they would find it way before we could. So it's I don't know.
Absolutely, I'll tell my wife. I know you haven't ever used this, but this is what it looks like. Where is it? And she'll come find it.
Yeah. Here's a picture of a tape measure.
Yeah, exactly.
See, my shop, it's real organized and clean and stuff. A lot of people don't know that, but it's a real. You've been there. It's super organized.
Yeah.
You could eat off the floor if you could find it, and I lose shit in there all the time, and usually I'll clean up. One time I cleaned up, and I had a bucket for bolts and nuts, and then I had a bucket for tools that I was finding. And I filled nearly both of them up, and that one bucket's now my go-to bucket because it's all the shit that I normally need.
Right.
That ended up on the floor somehow instead of in the fucking bolt bin.
I got a rule. Everything in my shop I try to keep organized like an organizer. But if I take something off the race car that I think it might look decent, but I'm going to replace it, like I try to, like if I take a nut and bolts off, been on there a while, I'll replace it or something, or a spacer, a shock spacer. It goes directly in this one drawer in my trailer that weighs probably 300 pounds. And if I ever need anything at the racetrack, it's probably in the bottom of that drawer.
The bottom of it, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. See, I got a trailer that has it's got 4 doors on it. I used to keep a motor in there and a four-wheeler. And it's entirely too big. And I have more shit in the trailer than the shop right now, I think.
When we're traveling together, like he no doubt has it in his trailer, but if I know that I have it, we're way better off just finding it because I probably know where it's at in my stuff in the van and whatnot. But
I saw your video the other day when you're loading up going to the races and you loaded your whole toolbox with like a cherry picker.
Yeah,
that's insanity stuff right there.
You probably can't see it right now, but if we were zoomed out, you could see his toolbox. It's the whole thing in there.
Yeah. So I know. That's what I said. So what I've learned is if I have to spend like half the day loading my stuff up to go racing, by the time I get there, I'm just so pissed that I don't even want to race anymore. So I took like a whole year and bought 2 of everything. Like I have 2 stagger sticks. One stays in the shop and one stays in the trailer. I've got 2 sets of tools to mount tires. I've got tools in the trailer and tools in the shop. So I just load the car and my power tools and I go on. It has made me feel so much better.
That's kind of what we try to do, but a lot of stuff ends up either from the trailer to the shop because we couldn't find it in the shop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
we got problems there. But it's always a good thing to shoot for sure, because it makes it so much easier. Because like I said, I'd spend 4 hours and you get there and you realize, damn it, I forgot the floor jack.
Yeah. So what was it last Friday when we went to the races? I had the impact with me. So, and I was working at Chris's in Kilgore. So hat change. Come all the way back. I ride with Lee. I bring the impact with me while they're at the track, and I get there to the track with the impact, and they didn't have the socket for the lug nuts.
Yeah, I ran a USMTS show once. It's one of those deals where you park between stackers on either side, and I forgot my impact. So I changed my tires and I modified all the time. Like I'm already out of place. Because I've got a regular floor jack and jack stands. That's not a thing that exists anymore at the racetrack. I don't know if y'all have noticed that. You can't have a regular jack anymore. But I was already using a regular jack, and then I used one of those. You remember those deals that they had? It was like a 4-way, but it has that PVC on it where you spin it?
Yeah, I got one of those.
I used one of those all night, and those guys were staring at me, and it felt really cool when I drove around that guy in the B feature for a non-transfer. We both didn't qualify, but I finished ahead of him. It felt really cool.
Yeah, and your lug nuts were probably tighter.
Yeah, it probably were.
Yeah. Let's see. We got a comment. Why not get an enclosed? So
I'm poor.
Is this any relation by chance, or
yeah, that's my
a real name?
He's actually an engineer. He has a degree for it. I don't have a degree for being an engineer.
Oh.
If it was just, I mean, Chasing Busch.
Yeah, either one I think would be a good name there. But why not get an enclosed? I personally don't like enclosed because I like open trailers. I'm old school. Yeah, I think it promotes racing better. Bradley, he had a cool setup at the last race he went to he had the red van, the trailer with the red and white car. Looks old school. I mean, and every time you get gas, somebody's going to ask where the race is at, and really 9 times out of 10 they show up.
Absolutely. I've had that happen several times. I don't
get an enclosed trailer because I don't even own an open trailer.
In my open trailer setup, I've got a whole toolbox. You open one door and it's got a whole toolbox like the one that you load up, Lee. I just had an extra one. I've mounted it in there. And it's got all my tools. And on the other side, I've got spare parts on a pegboard. My open trailer is outfitted better than most people's enclosed. Because most people have an enclosed with a car in it and like a toolbox strapped to the floor. And they really don't have shit in there. But they have an enclosed,
Right. Well, that's what I say about mine. I got this big ass box on it. I got everything in there. I probably got like 5 totes, and they one time they were organized, and then there was just like a couple of totes that were like car specific because we got like the wagon has certain stuff on it, the 3-link car has certain stuff on it. Factory stocks is different, so we kind of switch stuff out. What did Jesse say?
He said he says that he wanted to start a pistol when you showed up and didn't have the 1-inch socket.
Yeah. Yeah, he's always trying to suck stuff.
His name is Goals.
Yeah.
And really too, with me, I wasn't gonna race weekly, so we were only gonna hit a couple enduros maybe, and so I wasn't gonna get doubled up on all my tools and all the bullshit. And so I decided I'll just throw the toolboxes in. Like loading whole toolboxes is easier than trying to parse out what I'm going to use and what I'm not.
Yeah.
But now we're running weekly, and since we're running weekly, I'm too broke to buy duplicates of everything. So
most of my tools are Harbor Freight.
Yeah.
That way, if I lose them, it's like it don't really matter. And then I just spray paint them. That way, that one set is blue and one set's red, and then that way they get real mixed up, but it's colorful. Let's see. If every spare tie rod bent in that open trailer. No, but
yes. That's because my shit gets so low on the right front, not because I run over shit.
They're bent in all the right places usually.
Right.
You gotta have frame clearance.
Taylor Welch says that you like his toolbox.
Taylor does have a badass toolbox. So that toolbox has got quite a history. My buddy Robert Baker used to own it, and he raced late models out of it. I used to help him a lot. And Taylor's got it now for his B-Mod program. Taylor has a Lucas Oil Quality B-Mod program. He takes 2 cars to the racetrack, and I think he has 4 spare engines for each one when he gets there.
Holy shit.
Just in case.
Yeah.
You never know when you might want to change one after hot laps, after heat race, and after the B main.
Yeah. Well, dude, I went to a 3-day race once. This is probably 10 years ago. I blew up Thursday night. We got another motor for Friday night. We bought another one. Well, it breaks. And then Saturday, I borrowed a motor from somebody when I dropped one of the other ones off to get rebuilt. Borrowed one, and we still made the A. So I ran 3 motors in 3 days.
Damn it!
I didn't have to change any of them. I was at work, and they changed all of it, so it all worked out for me.
We went to a program one time that had 3 days of racing, and the divisions were all mixed up. The divisions each only raced 2 days, so some of them raced Friday and Sunday, some whatever. And in the hobby stock, I think it was a Friday Sunday deal, and the Super Street was Friday and Saturday. We had a nice 383 in the Super Street.
Yeah.
And I run second on Friday night in the qualifier main to a guy. And so we just decided after I run Saturday's main in the Super Street, we're going to put that nice 383 in the hobby stock. So we took all the time to do a motor swap. Nothing was blown. It was legal because it was an open show. And turns out we didn't really need that much more horsepower because I run the exact same distance behind him in the A main on that Sunday as I did in the qualifier A main, and we had way more motor. That wasn't the issue.
Yeah.
So I did get second to him again.
Yeah, well, that's better than third.
I always like to tell myself that motor doesn't really matter in racing, and there's only been a couple times whenever I feel like I was outrun by motor, and when it does happen though, you feel like a helpless child.
Yeah.
I was at a USMTS deal. Fun fact: I ran like 3 USMTS shows, never qualified. It's quite a claim to fame. But I was at a USMTS deal, and in the heat race, it was like really heavy, like it was like it could have rained it out deals. And it'd be one of those, you set the guy up and get a perfect line off the bottom, and then he actually stuck his foot on the gas and he just pulled out 10 links on you. You're like, oh, okay, yeah.
I know what's doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You drive up on the guy and turn through the center way better than him, and then he picks up the gas, and you've already been in the gas for 3 seconds, and he drives off. You're like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah. That's how I feel in my factory stock with my crate engine. That's got a good 2,000 laps on it from the enduros, and I'm just like, I gotta do something. I'm fucking up right now. I need more horsepower.
I was telling somebody about that the other day, Billy. I think that you probably have more laps in a race car than most of the people that live in the United States.
In the same car, probably.
Because every time you race 800 laps.
I'll be honest, there was a lot of those I didn't make 50 laps.
And make 40 laps the entire time I'm there.
Yeah. Well, you think about it. So at our local track, Highway 19, which is the small quarter mile. I think I probably sent you videos and stuff of it.
Yeah,
it's small. A feature green to checkered. I don't care what class. 6 minutes.
Yeah.
That's 6 minutes in a race car for 20 laps.
Yeah, me and a buddy were talking about putting together like a Chili Bowl deal maybe for next year. And when you break down like trying to race the Chili Bowl by the numbers, you end up with like 3 months of work and a lot of money and all kinds of time. And you're going to get to run like 1 hot lap, 6-lap heat race, 12-lap qualifier, and 6-lap K main.
Yeah, hopefully you make it up from there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's just not. You got more time trying to get the car started, I think, in that race.
I think so, yeah. And there's a really high likelihood that you're probably going to end up on your head.
Yeah. So my buddy Denny, he was running that, and they just sold the cars. I think a month or 2 ago, and I went and seen him like 3 different times. Every time he flipped. Not his fault, but just every time he flipped it.
I think this right here, it just gets down to mathematics, and he might be right on that. If you get the back ones running 150, the front one's got to be at least doing 62.
That's pretty good math there.
Yeah.
The important thing about the Chili Bowl is you have to remember to strap your seatbelts in. That's a pretty important deal.
Yeah, I've seen people forget about that.
I've seen people, just totally forego that step.
Yeah. I think I was there either the day after that or the day before. I can't remember, but I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, one time I started driving. I was driving for a guy, and we bought a car. And you might have seen pictures of this car. I was sponsored by Time Out, the strip club.
Oh yeah, off of 155.
Yeah. It's made famous by Whiskey Myers. It's no longer open, but it's there. Anyway, I had the cam lock belts in it. My first race in it. We're swapping that. And anyways, I got in a wreck. The steering wheel came off, and it wasn't the steering wheel. The steering wheel it come off underneath the dash to the quick steer, right?
Mm-hmm.
First race in the car, so the guy we got it from didn't tighten the shit up, I guess. Well, in the middle of me looping it in the middle of the straightaway because it's taking hard left while I'm just holding the steering wheel, the fucking thing, my legs unlock it. And then I slide off into the infield, and all my belts are just loose. And I'm like, what the fuck? Well, I figured out what's going on with the steering wheel. I get it shoved back up on the splines. I get my seat belts back together, And I'm like, I'm going back out there because I'd won my heat race for like half a track, and I was in like 4th in the feature when that happened. And then it happened again, and I was like, I'm staying off the track this time because what happened to Billy? How did he die? Well, his seat belts keep coming unloose, and also his steering wheel.
And he keeps just going back out.
Yeah, and he just will not quit.
So the first time I ever drove my modified, I went to like a test and tune deal at Crawford County, and I'd been working on this summit for like 6 months. I'd never drove a modified, and I was really excited about it. And I went out there to get on the racetrack, and I made like half a lap, and the fitting that goes into the fuel log and the carburetor was apparently leaking, and it was squirting just like a steady stream of fuel and hit me right in the visor. Ask me if I pulled off. No, I didn't pull. I pulled off, and I just had gas all over me. Dad was like, "Damn, where does all this gas?" I was always coming out of the carburetor. It was hitting me since like the first lap. He was like, "We didn't pull off." I was like, "Hell, no, I didn't." And then he explained to me that I could have just been on fire, and that made some sense. But at the time, it really seemed worth it to make those 4 hot laps.
When I raced karts one time, we had the old flathead motors, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we were out there hot lapping, and the cart was running good, and I'm like, I'm hot lapping, and all of a sudden it starts running like shit, and I look over, and the bolts had worked out of the carburetor. So I just reached over and I just held it against the motor and finished my hot lap session, pulled it all the way back to the trailer. I was like, oh yeah, that'll work. I had to find bolts because neither of them were in it.
So I was running a go-kart race at Batesville, Mississippi. I don't know if y'all know about that, but that's like the biggest go-kart race of the year as far as indoors goes. And I was running a small block open was the class. So you got this big fire-breathing sumbitch strapped to your go-kart.
Yeah.
And I had just passed for 3rd, and I was kind of pulling up on the guy in front of me, and I was like, man, I've really got something here to win this. And all of a sudden, my visor got totally covered in oil. And I was like, that's really weird. This guy must have just blown his shit up. And I just kept driving, and I started noticing my tach. I wasn't turning over like 7,000 RPM. I was like, that's weird. And this guy passed me, but I passed him back, and I was like, hell yeah. And then I realized, I looked over, and I saw the whole cylinder going like this. It's still running, and I was like, damn, let me make one more lap, and if he throws the white flag, I'll at least finish 3rd. He didn't, so I pulled off. But I pulled off, and I had oil just all over me. It's impressive how little an engine needs to run.
Dude,
like it'll run, it's not very good.
When we were running karts, Jesse was in high school one time, and we were running, and my stepdad Charles they're trying to tune the carburetor. Well, Jesse's at the front and he's hitting the gas, right? He's at the front of the cart and he's holding the gas down, and Charles up there trying to tune the carburetor, and this fucker throws a rod out the front of it, right? Piece of it comes up, hits Jesse right here under the nose, and breaks like that bone under his nose. And he's fucked up. His lip looks like the way the girls do theirs now, right? With all the lip pumper stuff. And Jesse's commenting, so he knows what's going on. Yeah, and this fucking guy. Anyway, I'm like, hey, is it really that bad? Can I run my feature first before we go to the hospital? Because we was fixing a race, so I went out, ran my A main, chain comes off. I'm just stuck in the infield after like 5 laps the whole time, and Jesse's out there with a lip this thick, waiting on me to come in so we could load up and go to the hospital. But it might have been a dick move on me.
Yeah,
but hey, get that start money, man.
Yeah, that's it.
Absolutely, yeah. My good buddy knocked himself out in a stock car race about a year ago, and when he got to the hospital, he was in a wheelchair, like sitting at the counter checking in. I took a picture of him thinking, this kind of is a dick move, but if he lives through this would be a really cool picture to laugh at later.
Yeah. Well, there's always, you gotta find the funny moments and everything.
Possibly my favorite racing video that people don't know about enough. You need to repost this every chance you get. Is whenever I think Jesse won a race or something, and he says, "Love you, man." You fuck you, man.
Yeah. I was trying to say fuck yeah, and he interrupted me with the love you. So I was trying to say love you back because he's my brother, and then I just said fuck you, man. every time Jesse wins, I think Kamo he'll text me fuck you, man.
Yeah, that's an all-time racing moment there.
Yeah, I don't play that gay shit. Yeah, shit. Yeah, that was a funny one. I'm glad I got it on video. Because there's a lot of shit me and Jesse do that we don't get on video.
Me and the same guy that knocked himself out actually got in trouble one time. He won the Spooker at Tri-State, and there was a picture the photographer took of us. We were like in Victory Lane, and I ran over there, and we were smiling at each other, like, just in the moment. And the photographer took a picture of that, and he sent it to me the next day. We were out eating brunch, and both of our wives got visibly pissy because they claimed that we never looked at them like that.
Well,
I can see that happening.
Yeah. Only fuck you. This is different. Yeah. Like I don't know. It's very handy to have cameras nowadays to catch dumb shit.
Yeah, especially the 360 cameras.
Oh yeah, the 360 cameras, dude. That's what you need to get for your shit.
Yeah, I need to.
They're pretty affordable, really. But no, your wife commented.
She remembers.
Yeah. It's a laughy face. Yeah. Yeah, she was there. JT Mathis says, "Yo, what's up, man?"
Yo, JC.
Yeah, JC. So I don't know what that stands for. Jesus Christ, maybe. What engine is in your car? Which
More
one
than
of
you can afford, pal. Ferrari.
Small block Chevy. Oh, Xander says the new 360 camera just came out today. I gotta wait a couple years before I can afford stuff like that. I'm gonna buy a PS5 once the PS6 comes out. That's kind of how I do stuff.
So yeah, I have an LS in mind. But anyway.
Yeah. But both of the engines that I race are 350 cubic inches, built by Busch, the best engine builder that won't build you an engine. He'll just build me an engine.
Yeah. If it's not Busch, it's Shaven or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, he actually he builds the engines at Burdick cylinder heads for like their dyno tests and stuff. So he's been doing it a long time.
Hell yeah. You can see pictures of your dad, and you're like, this guy knows what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah, he does. He does. I'll explain to him some kind of new age setup thing, and he won't understand. And I'll say, no, you don't understand. You were doing this in 2002. You just didn't know because I call it this, and he calls it that.
Right.
I was trying to explain him bump steer the other day, and he was like, I just can't wrap my head around it. I said, no. When you were had to run stock length everything, and you got your tie rod level and your A-arm level, you were setting your bump steer. He was like, oh.
Yeah. See, I still hadn't figured out bump steer. I went to one of those setup chassis schools or whatever, and they were talking about that. Jason Ingalls and Morgan Bagley was doing it and stuff, and I still don't know. I have paperwork on it, and it's over my head. It's like bump steer. I thought that's where you door somebody to make it around the turn.
Everybody always wants to know why I blur things in my photos. One time, Jason Ingalls, I'm not even joking. Jason Ingalls walked up to me in the pits and said, I saw that picture of your car the other day, and I'm going to try that on my car tonight. I just put that mount on there.
So, a funny thing.
Jason's a cool dude.
He is a cool dude. I like Jason a lot.
Yeah.
When I first brought out the car that's the Enduro car that I'm driving now, but when it was new to me, and I put the big old long shackle on the back of it, and like we come out and we're competitive immediately in it, and so we went up to this race. We're staying in our enclosed trailer, poor boy in it, and I thought I was going to be funny the next morning, and I just get up and I walk. The door wasn't latched; it was just closed up, and I walked up to it and I just shoved it down like that. And another friend of mine, competitor friend, he's down under the back with a camera taking pictures of it. Scared the shit out of him. He's like, "Well, I'm just trying to, whatever, man, whatever."
Yeah, everybody always wants to know what's under race car. And I'm guilty of it too. I mean, you look at it, but the more I've raced and worked on cars, I work on cars a lot more. I almost like working on them as I like racing them. The more I've done stuff, the more I've realized if you just keep your eyes on your own paper, shout out to Hot Carl, and you just follow your own direction, you're way faster. I mean,
yeah.
If you fix the problems on your car and only fix the problems that are wrong with your car and don't worry about anything else, you're way faster than if you try to put something somebody else has, or just because you think it looks cool or think it might help. Don't change anything. I agree
100%. That's probably the most solid advice I've heard in a while.
Grease gun goes a long way.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming you've already greased it, but if you've already greased it and it's not a problem, don't change it.
Bradley says he watches my YouTube videos. The latest one I put up today, I had the shocks because I was fixing my slider, and I thought, well, yeah, that's all. And I put a punch that I had for knocking in the Heim, and it's like squeak, squeak. Like, maybe I should loop them up down here.
A little PV blaster in there.
I don't have a hat, but Rod End Supply makes the best Heim ends you can buy. They sell some. They're the XM series, and they're like what sprint car guys run Rod End Supply. A lot of late model guys like to say that FK are the best, but the Rod End Supply are the best. You don't lube them at all, and they're totally surrounded in oil-impregnated plastic.
Nice. These were just on the end of my cheap shocks, so they're just
there. I mean, all the cheap shit's good if you replace it with the good stuff. I have a very controversial YouTube video. It's my most watched YouTube video where I took the cheapest J-bar you could buy available at Southwest Speed and made it into a nice J-bar. I cut all the shitty things off of it and put nice things, and it's better than anything else you can buy now.
Yeah.
It's really good for sitting on my shelf because it's not bolted to a car.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Jesse must be lagging a little bit on the video. This comment here is about whenever that motor blew up on him, hit him in the face. It's a emotional roller coaster. We made fun of him the whole night, calling him Donald Duck. I remember that. He was.
How much younger is Jesse than you, Billy?
Like 7 or 8 years. He just turned 30 this month, and I turned 38 this year. So, yeah, both his kids are born this month. One was actually born this month,
and he was born this month.
Yeah, but like
I will not take the slander. Put that comment up there from Lane Pounds. I won't take that slander.
Let's see.
That may be the most offensive thing anybody's ever said to me.
I don't even know who that is.
He was. I don't know who he is, but he was made famous in a song by Charlie Daniels.
Yeah. Well, I had to chat GPT it.
Well, we've been on here for an hour,
have we? All right. Well,
let's at least put Skinny up because he sends us some money sometimes.
Skinny's helped out a bunch. I don't know if you're ever in California, Bradley, and you break down, especially Bakersfield area, which would be the place to go.
Yeah,
I would assume.
Yeah.
Skinny's Automotive right there. He can get you fixed up in the van.
You know, it's crazy. I've heard that a lot of people have never walked on a street in Bakersfield.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard.
Streets of Bakersfield.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
And if you come to the SuperTech 600 this year, get some awesome food from Skinny because he'll be out here cooking tri-tip in a barrel, and it's the most badass thing you've ever had.
Every year I try getting Bradley to come down there for the 600, and this year it's going to be the closest it'll ever be to his house.
I've already got it on my. I've already got it on my.
He always gets a kick out of that. So,
hey, that's big old screens.
But let's see if we can do this one. He can fit in that one almost.
Hey, it's always backwards for me.
Yeah.
So I had Dustin message me this morning actually about he's going to try helping me get some stuff. I need some new race gloves, and he's going to help me out with that. And possibly a new helmet if I have to bring a helmet to Australia. And I picked up a sponsor for a race suit over there. So because you have to have, I always wear a 2-piece over here because I got to get out of it immediately when I get out of the car. So that's what I do. But so over there you have to have a 1-piece. Well, there's a place over there that they do a lot of work over here, a lot of business over here, I guess. They're going to hook me up with a race suit, Devil's Race Car,
nice
race products or something like that. I got it.
I'll sponsor your socks
next week. What?
I'll sponsor your socks.
Yeah, dude, I'm probably gonna have 10 pairs of socks when I get over there. Yeah.
Just don't take any socks that aren't fireproof.
That's exactly what I was saying. Every sock he takes better be fireproof.
Yeah, I told him, I said, I'm putting my socks over my shoes. I'm gonna get my race suit made where it's like a onesie where I got the feet. They got the feet made into it, like
the rabbit ears. You have to fold them down to put a helmet on.
Yeah. I'm gonna overdo it this year, but I can't handle that. I would have made it in the show if it wasn't for that. So, which I did. We made the show. They give us a provisional, but this year I don't expect that, and I didn't expect it last year. Right. So I try not to expect too much, favors, anyways. So
I think I told you that we lowballed your buddy on a B mod, sitting around drinking. Yeah. That was with intentions to go to Australia with it, but I don't think he accepted the $4,500 offer.
It only cost about the $4,500 to ship it to Australia.
Right, we figured that into our calculations.
Yeah. So, I don't even know if they run a class that would be legal for. Truthfully,
we could put fenders on. I mean, hell, what is it gonna have?
I mean, the only thing that would suck is if you have to turn right that night.
We can handle it.
Yeah, we're gonna sit this one out, and we'll be back next week and hope for. He barred up, going.
I'll just set it up backwards where the right turn I'll be barred up and the left one I'll suck.
Yeah. But well, man, we've enjoyed you being on here. You got the link. You can get on here anytime you want to. If we're on here bullshitting and you feel like hopping on, we'll see you down here. Hop on anytime, man.
We're gonna leave the link the same until somebody starts getting on that we don't want on, and then we'll have to change it.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
don't let it be you.
I'll look forward to next time when I feel like I need to interject something. If you got any technical help, I'll hop on.
Yeah, mostly our technical help. We just ask ChatGPT. I think
we're gonna try and get my other buddy Billy on next week. That has actually made it very public that he's letting ChatGPT crew chief his pro stock right now. And it's
I saw that post. That's pretty crazy. I asked mine a question the other day, and it was actually correct. And I had that same thought, like it might not be bad.
Yeah. A friend of mine's been asking about tire dope.
The most interesting thing, and I'm dragging this out, but that he asked it some question, and it asked him, "Can you upload a picture of it in the turns?" And so he did, and it told him, "Yeah, it probably does have too much body roll," because he had asked it something about body roll.
Yeah.
And so he got a screenshot from the video that his wife took and sent it, and they discussed it from there. And I thought that was crazy.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna send it a picture of my penis and see if it can tell me what to do to make it bigger. I mean, why not?
Yeah. So anyway, we'll end on that note. Great having you, Bradley.
I'll give you
thanks, guys.
Week. Thanks, man. I'll holler at you later.
Absolutely.
All right. So that was awesome.
That was a good time.
Think you'd stay on that long. It worked out well. We had a few little glitches at first, but
well, he's an entertaining dude. Me and him bullshit daily, and he's very knowledgeable on race car stuff.
We may need to get some earbuds.
Maybe
for
this
because
you can get the right, I'll get the left.
Yeah, I don't know about the. I guess we kept that low enough. Hopefully, there wasn't any feedback.
I think it'd be all right. Yeah, right. That's something we'll fine tune. Like, I think the earbuds. If we can, where do you fucking plug them in at? I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
I don't know how
we'll figure
works,
it out,
but we'll figure it all out. Thank y'all for following along. We've been enjoying all the comments, and hell, we'll see y'all next week.
Like us on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, wherever.
Dragon Slayer Industries on YouTube and the rest of the world. The Infield Tractor Tire everywhere. Buy merch. Buy. I don't know if you can see the corner of it. It's a bottle rack. Oh yeah.
Here, I'll drag it down.
Pull it down.
We hadn't shut her off yet.
Yeah.
But
it's got Oreos on
this was special made to have a wide enough shelf to hold Oreos. That was the guy's main concern. But got their last name on it.
That thing's pretty fucking slick, dude.
Yeah. So
anything.
Ken Boatman got one just to use as a coat rack. So
I need one just for the hoodies that I've ended up with.
Right. Yeah.
So if you need anything like that made, make sure you look up Dragon Slayer Industries. A hell of a bunch of stuff. Just anything. If you need it made, he can make it.
A day planner, in case you don't know what to do with your day.
Yeah. Or just even a sign that says bench racing.
But anyway, we'll get off here.
Yeah. Anything you need, make sure you go over there. Make sure you get on the Infield Tractor Tire. Buy some merch. We got all kinds of shirts. I got hats now. And if you're in Australia, I have another link for that. It's in a pinned post. So,
and thank y'all for getting on and doing all the comments. And
thank y'all
being a part of this. So,
yeah.
All right.
See you next week, next Tuesday, same time.
We're out.